Hi everyone. Today we're talking about something that affects almost everyone at some point in their lives, which is impaired driving. That means driving after drinking, using drugs, or even being overly tired or on certain medications. My goal isn't to lecture you here, but to give you facts and choices that can help you and your friends stay safe. So, what is impaired driving? It's not just about alcohol, it also includes marijuana, prescription pills, or mixing substances. Even small amounts of alcohol can slow your reaction time. THC, aka the active substance in marijuana, affects your tracking time, attention, and your coordination. And also, drowsy driving is just super dangerous. You don't need to be falling down drunk to be impaired. Even buzz driving is dangerous. If you're acting half a second slower, that could be the difference between hitting someone or just stopping safely. It matters so much, particularly for teens, because oftentimes you're new drivers and driving already requires a ton of focus, and adding alcohol, weed, or just being tired, and the risks just multiply like crazy. Plus, your brain is still just developing, and you're more likely to take risks without being able to fully weigh the consequences. So, the number one cause of teen death is car crashes, and 25%, so a quarter of the teen crashes in the entire US involve alcohol. And so, just again, teenagers' brains aren't fully developed yet, and they're fully developed at 25, so not even close. Here are some common myths and facts behind alcohol and impairment. So, coffee or cold showers sobers you up, which is myth. The fact is that only time can reduce blood alcohol level. Another myth is I only smoked weed, I'm fine, which in reality, marijuana users are 25% more likely to crash. And the final myth is I drive better after a drink, which is just plain wrong. That is impaired judgment talking. So the consequences of DUI, specifically for teens or like younger adults, is it is really expensive on the legal side. Your fines can go up as high as $5,000. You can lose your license for up to 12 months, so a whole year, and you could even go to jail. And then your insurance could go crazy through the roof, $10,000. And then in your personal life, it goes on your criminal record, and it could affect your college admissions and just your general reputation, the people around you. A DUI is a huge mistake that can follow you around for years. Imagine having to explain to every future employer that you lost your license for drunk driving 20 years ago just because you were being a silly kid. Super embarrassing, not fun. And here's some ways you can prevent that and how to make some smart choices. So plan ahead, figure out a ride before the party, and designate a sober driver, a designated driver. Have a backup plan if your ride falls through. You can do rideshare like Uber or Lyft. There's public transit. And you could just make a safe ride agreement with either your parents or your friend. And even if you're just unsure whether the person you're supposed to get a ride home with is safe enough to drive, or you don't feel safe enough to drive, just don't drive. Think of it like wearing a seatbelt. Planning a ride home before you go out is just another layer of protection when you shouldn't even think of before doing. In the same mind of prevention and making smart choices, here's how you could help a friend make right choices. You can offer to order a ride for them, take their keys, or just make a pact. No one drives drunk or high. Help make safe driving. Even though it might feel weird to stop a friend from driving impaired, but when you rather have them mad at you at one night or regret forever that you didn't say something that could have saved their lives. As I said earlier, impaired driving is a problem amongst teens, but it isn't just a teen issue. Adults make up the majority of impaired drivers in the fatal crashes. About 30% of all U.S. traffic deaths involve drunk drivers of all ages, including older adults. Adult drivers 21 to 44 years old have the highest alcohol impairment rate in crashes. Impaired driving isn't just a teen problem. In fact, most impaired drivers in fatal crashes are adults. It's a national issue that touches every age group and community. Here are some of the consequences more for adults. So, for your first DUI, you can experience the legal fees that are also super expensive, ranging from $500 to $5,000. Your license could be suspended. You could go to jail. You might be put into a DUI recovery program. Like you might have to go to a sober check-in. And then for repeat offenders, there are more expensive fines, longer jail times, maybe even a felony, and then you might lose some of your rights as a citizen, like driving. The overall cost can reach upwards of $10,000 when adding all the legal fees, the insurance fees, just all of it. It's super expensive. Don't even do it. The consequences for adults go far beyond just one night in jail. Multiple offenses lead to even more severe penalties, including felony charges and a lifelong criminal record. There are some additional risks for all ages, like men are more likely to drive impaired than women, and motorcycle riders have the highest impaired crash rates. And even small blood alcohol content levels, like 0.05, multiply crash risks. Any impairment is still technically illegal, even though the legal limit in California is 0.08. Everyone has different risks, but no one is immune to the effects. Gender, vehicle type, and even low levels of alcohol can drastically raise the chance of tragedy in someone's life. To wrap it all up, just in summation of all that's been said, number one, impaired driving is totally 100% preventable, whether it's ride shares, just going totally sober, or just doing non-alcohol version of drinks. And second, DUIs are super expensive, stressful, and life-changing. A small mistake in your teens could ruin your life forever as an adult. And third, make sure to make safe choices like planning ahead, refusing impaired rides, and make sure to look out for your friends. Make sure to think about it now because in the moment, you might not have the time to.